Looks awfully watery. Oh, should be right.
So Freddie, thanks for having me around. Can you hear how your first few weeks here have been in Boulder? I think you've only got another week left to go, but how have you found the altitude training camp so far? The hybrid cycling, a little bit of running. We'll talk a bit more about the running soon, but how's it been?
No, I love Boulder. It's definitely probably my favourite place to train in the US easily. It's just so many people to hang out with, train, running and cycling, which is kind of what I do these days, and it's been good. Been a good couple of weeks. Had a good race earlier, and another one on Sunday, and head back to España.
Yeah. So in your first week here, you did the race up at Steamboat, which is a huge race here in the US, up at quite high altitude, and you managed to place second.
Yes.
How do you feel about that result?
Good, but second is like one of those things that if someone told you before the race, you'd probably be like, yeah, mate, I'll probably take it. But when you get rolled in a sprint and you can see the win in front of you, it's kind of a little bit like. But there's about 3,000 worse places I could have gotten. So yeah, I prepared really well. It went well. Good momentum. It was good.
Yeah. And you must be feeling a little bit of fatigue at the moment with the amount of cycling you're doing, while also incorporating some last-minute marathon training.
Yes, thanks to yourself.
With our group.
I've been getting dragged out by Foxy, but voluntarily as well. To be honest, I love it. I love to exercise. Simple as that. I don't see it as like, oh, I've got to train today. You know, it's like, mate, I'm in Boulder, beautiful weather. I love being outdoors, and I'm training pretty hard on the bike, but I definitely can monitorize things to make sure I have a bit more energy to be able to run with you guys, and it's been great. Met some new people, had fun. I'm sure it's going to help me a little bit for next month, which is great as well, and I'm just happy, just enjoying myself.
Yeah. So for those that aren't familiar and that haven't followed your journey, you were a very high level junior runner before deciding to make the switch to cycling, of which you've had a lot of success. So let's just quickly, over maybe a couple minutes, go through the history of where you've been. Obviously growing up as having a father as one of the greatest runners of all time and the Olympic champion in the 800 metres, lots of influence there. But it'd be good to hear maybe a 2-3 minute summary on how you went through high school as a runner and then ultimately switching to cycling.
Yeah, obviously, the old man ran pretty well back in his day.
Pretty well.
So that influenced my basically everything I thought about was running as a junior. I was obsessed, no doubt. I had immediate success from a very young age, and winning was almost became second nature. And if I was actually chatting to you guys about it this morning, if I didn't win as a junior, it was like the world was ending, But I had a good junior career in Australia, good enough to get a scholarship eventually to University of Oregon. Had a great year there, was finally running some mileage, which was the first time in my life, more or less, that I was running mileage, and it was looking great, but I picked up an injury that no one really could put their finger on. Even all the resources at Nike and at the university just couldn't work it out, and it frustrated me to no end. And like we spoke about, I'm someone who likes to exercise, and I started cycling purely as a rehab method, and before I knew it, I was racing just for fun, and I had immediate success, which is not really normal in cycling because there's a massive technicality side of things, and for some reason that also came natural. And I got picked up by some very big development teams and made the decision obviously very quickly to shift across, as I always knew that to be a high level runner you really need to be in the sort of top 10 people in the world, and that's extremely difficult. In cycling, there's a lot more opportunities in all sorts of different disciplines throughout the world, and here I am, I guess like 8 years later, and I've been professional for 5-6 years now, and it's now at sort of, I guess, the peak of my cycling career. It's going well, and I've been, strangely enough, been able to incorporate running into it purely for enjoyment purposes, and it's helping my cycling, which is great.
Does any part of you wonder how fast you might be able to run over a marathon if you just stopped the cycling and focused on running again?
More so, I every now and then think about how fast I could have run as like a miler.
Yeah.
I think I think I could have made it to the world level. I'm not sure where on that world level, but I definitely saw enough talent as a junior, and obviously was a decent set of genes to help me out, and I'm sure I could have made that level, but I'm not sure where on that level, and I think it would have been a very stressful and hard life, especially with my last name. So I'm pretty happy with the decision I made. I have some good fun and some good success.
Yeah, for sure. And we've introduced you to the Saw kit, who are sponsoring this video series.
We love Saw, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan of Saw. No, huge shout out. Yeah, Matt introduced me to them. I saw them on IG quite a few times. Super cool, clean brand, British, which is obviously my background. And I appreciate the swag and the support before Berlin.
Yeah, okay. So we have 3.5 weeks before Berlin Marathon. 26 days we worked out this morning at the track.
Yeah, you know better than me, mate. I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think your training will look like between now and then? You've probably averaged around about 10 to 15 miles a week. There was a week last week where you were sort of up around that 40, but that was because I dragged you along to a long run that was 25 miles.
Yeah.
But the last few weeks you'll sharpen up with a couple of quick workouts and then get ready to send it. And
just rely on my aerobic base that I have from my job cycling, and you've actually been really helpful in giving me an idea of probably what I can run before I was just kind of go, yeah, whatever, I'll probably be faster than the last time I ran, sort of deal. But you've actually been like, you know what, like, you probably can run all right. So been feeling good, been feeling great. I love altitude. I always respond super well to it. So mate, I can't wait for Berlin. I think it's gonna be so much fun. That's why I do it. I don't need to run these things. I get paid to be a cyclist, so it's just something that I do for fun. And to follow your journey as well, I'm super excited for. And
it must be really fun to line up with really no pressure at all.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it's just get out there to have fun.
Yeah,
I see what your body
totally
can do.
Like I feel like I only look at sports through like eyes of a professional, like chasing podiums and wins, and like if I don't do that, then it's a major disaster. Whereas running, for me, it's like 9 times out of 10 it can only go like really well because I'm not meant to be running. It's just a very nice position to be in, and I can just soak up an event like Berlin. Like, who gets to do something like that while being a professional athlete in another sport? So super, I can't wait, honestly. It's just gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. I'm looking forward to visiting your home in Spain in a few weeks, where we'll shoot another episode and check out some of your cycling and running routes.
Mate, plenty of paella on tap.
Yeah, and then we'll head to Berlin together, do a couple of shakeout runs, and then
send it.
Hit that start line.
Yeah, mate, I can't wait.
Okay, Freddy, we're 4 weeks out from the Berlin Marathon.
I guess so. You know better than me.
Running together.
You better than me.
Most of your training at the moment is focused on cycling.
Yeah.
But before we go do our 16-mile run, how was your night last night? You had a different night to usual.
Mate, not your typical Saturday night of staying up for different reasons than a university town like Boulder. You'd think you'd be staying up drinking, but I was actually stayed up to race my bike indoors at 1 a.m. Yeah. So a bit of background: you're second in the world in January on the Zwift platform. So there's a World Championships esports every year now that they do during winter, and my team Legion, sponsored by Zwift, and I've had some success on there. Got invited to this esports race from Taiwan, hence waking up at 1 a.m. because I was on their time, and some decent start money, so couldn't say no. But some interesting characters in front of me that I've never heard of before, but take it as is, and got a cheeky hour and a half training ahead of you last night, mate. So
yeah. So you went to bed at 10, woke up at midnight.
Yeah, went to bed at 10.
Cycling race in.
Woke up at 12 because my girlfriend was calling me like, you all set? I was like, shit, I better get ready. Had a Red Bull and a coffee and did 40 minutes at 370 watts or whatever, and tried to go to bed at 3:30. Woke up, here I am.
7 hours later, we're doing 16-mile run.
Hey, another day.
Awesome. All right, let's get this run done.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good. Really good, actually, yeah.
Good.
Been a while since I've run this fast. But muscle memory is definitely a thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're 5 sets down. 3 to go.
5 sets down, 3 to go.
How you doing? You're doing 60, 65, 66, 64
Yeah.
in the last
Yeah.
one.
No,
Pretty comfortably.
the sign experiment continues.
Yeah.
No, I feel good. It's fun, super fun. Nice to run with a bit of pace again. That's kind of all I used to run at. I used to run
Yeah.
never anything slower than 60 actually. So
Yeah.
it's very strange to be running quick again, but it's so nice.
Yeah. Have you done anything at anywhere near this pace
Nothing,
since
nothing.
Oregon days?
Nothing. It's a little bit dangerous to be honest, but I feel great. So
Yeah, be a little bit careful.
yeah, no,
Of any sort of.
I'm fine. Trust me, I would know if I'm
Yeah.
feeling awkward. But
Yeah.
this is fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going well. Got old mate behind the camera.
So you're just doing the. So your plan today is the mile.
Yeah, so
And then
mile,
8 4s.
and then yeah, we figured that we see how the 400s feel, and I guess they're feeling alright. So I'll do the 8 4s with you, which is helpful for you, I guess, and then the mile to finish off, and it's been a great
Good
workout.
day.
Yeah,
That's a solid volume workout. That's,
yeah, it really is. Yeah,
6 or 7K on the track.
it's just so much fun to be running at speed with some boys again. It's
Yeah.
super nice. So
All right. Cameras down. Set number 7. Set number 6. Coming up.
ready to go.
Thanks, man. 6 sets down.
6 down, 2 to go.
2 to go.
Foxy's rolling. Nick
We
Bester,
definitely got
mate.
some-
Nick Bester, watch out. This guy's rolling. I'd calm down in South Africa if I were you.
I think Nick's long haul flight to South Africa just ruined his campaign just quietly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick. Nah, he'll run really well.
You better upgrade first class. Stretch those legs out on the
I'm
way back.
hoping it's ruined him a bit, but
Nah, I'm joking.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
No.
So you feeling fine? You reckon you're good to do 2 more?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Cool.
Sub 60 last one.
We're taking about 2 to 2.5 minutes between the sets.
Well, you are.
We are not doing sub 60 on the last one. At least
Come on now.
Reminisce the old days.
We've definitely gotten lucky with the weather this morning though, because it's
It's lovely. Yeah, it's
at
beautiful.
this time of year at the end of August, it's a hit and miss with
Yes.
it being too warm or just fine. So
Yeah, actually, it's a good point. All my running to this point this year has been in Spain, and it's been a heat wave in Spain all summer.
yeah.
So I haven't been able to really run anything faster than
Yeah.
long run pace or anything. So
We got so lucky in our 40K last weekend.
oh,
It was cooler and overcast the whole
yeah.
run, so
that was
managed to get through it.
good for morale, because otherwise I've been suffering
Yeah.
every time I've been running. So this is nice.
Okay, sets.
It's been a, like
Let's go, boys! Last one.
good job, guys.
Nice. So-
Right, you're on.
Yeah. Freddy is one of the most interesting marathon cases because everyone else trying to run 2:30, well, at least I can assume so, would be doing 50, 60 miles a week, focusing purely on running. Freddy's trying to run under 2:30 for a marathon off probably over the last 12 weeks an average of about 15 to 20 miles. There's been 1 week or 2 weeks where it's been a little higher. He's joined a 40K run. But I'm super curious to see how he goes because it's 85, 90% cycling. And he's done very few junk miles, very few aerobic miles. It's more just get in there and do the tempos in the long run. So it's going to be really interesting to see. But the thing that Freddy has, the huge advantage that Freddy has, and Tyler's been in marathons before when he sees this because he's obviously an Ironman specialist, but Freddy knows exactly how to fuel in events. So he's obviously been cycling at such a high level for a long time. And he mentioned that in LA, when he ran that, a lot of people around him were pushing the pace early, but then he noticed them fade back later because they weren't fueling properly. They didn't really know how much to take in terms of carbs. And Freddy's really smart and switched on about that stuff. So that's the thing, that's the advantage that he's going to have in the race, that he knows exactly how much he needs to get through. And I wouldn't be surprised if he passes a lot of people in the last 10 because they just they haven't fueled properly. That's something that I'm still learning every marathon. I don't feel like I've really got it right yet either, but yeah, doing my best.
Definitely surprised actually at that lack of knowledge towards fueling,
especially in marathon.
Especially in marathon, like in running, it's like it's part of your job. You learn to be good at it. If you're not good at it, then you're not good at cycling. And I think there's a lot of marathon runners that get away with fueling poorly and are unaware that that's actually heavily affecting their performance. And LA was so crazy to see the amount of people in the last 10K that just exploded with cramping and dehydration, and I was shocked through the feed stations how little people were drinking. So I've actually been pushing that to drink and eat more and more and more and more because you can't not get enough in. You know, you're always going to be at a deficit at a marathon. So that is one thing that I'm trained well for Berlin is fueling, but the rest are no good.
You're doing Berlin as well?
Yes.
Freddy.
Trying to.
He hasn't trained much, but he can fuel.
Can fuel.
Huge aerobic base.
Can
fuel. And a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
I've noticed.
It's a lifestyle, not a job.
Alright, boys, let's do this last mile. So we don't want to go crazy. No, it's supposed
You're
to be
the
a
one
threshold.
who's pushing. Every time, this guy. He's telling us to calm down, and he's on the front doing 64.
I think we're going to just coast, threshold effort. We want to be able to finish it being good. You know, we want to, if we needed to be able to do another one of them. So let's get it done.
Get it done.
75. Okay, last one.
At least start at 75.
Yeah, 76. Seven.
What was that?
Otherwise I'm like this. Like I'll get my head. I'll get my head.
Well done. Oh, fun. Super fun.
Session summary. So we were 4:57, first mile. 8 sets of 4-2. Freddy doing the fours, Tyler doing roughly 300, 200. They're all around 64 to 66, and the 200's all around 30, 31. And then at 4:57. But what's so interesting about that workout is the last mile always feels a lot easier than the first, despite the same pace a lot of the time. Do you reckon the first mile felt harder than the last?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's a bit of science that like your VL max like you have to do like a somewhat threshold effort before the next one feels easier. So
Yeah.
I think that's what, especially at altitude, takes a while for the system to kick in, and I've noticed that on the bike as well. And then you're running so fast for the 4s and 2s that the first 800 of the mile feels so easy, and then you're like, oh, I've only got 2 laps. It's easy.